Hey there, fellow cryptid enthusiasts and skeptics. Welcome to our deep dive into the world where shadows dance and legends come to life. The realm of cryptid creatures. We're about to embark on a journey into the unknown, exploring the stories, the sightings, and the chills that run down your spine when you think, what if they're real? From the depths of forests to the edges of our vision, these mysterious beings have captivated imaginations for centuries. Get ready to question everything you thought you knew because things are about to get weird. So, buckle up, grab your flashlight, and maybe a security blanket, because we're about to shine a light on the creatures that go bump in the night. Our first stop takes us to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where a winged anomaly known as the Mothman first spread its wings into the public consciousness. Picture this, 1966, a time of groovy tunes and even groovier paranoia. It all began with a group of terrified teenagers claiming they saw a large man-like figure with glowing red eyes and wings spanning 10 feet. I mean, I'd be freaked out too, and I've seen some things. Naturally, people dismissed it as teenage shenanigans or maybe one too many trips to the punch bowl, but then the sightings multiplied. More witnesses came forward describing the same unsettling creature. The town was buzzing, the media was in a frenzy, and the legend of the Mothman began to take flight. Now, if seeing a giant Mothman wasn't unsettling enough, things took a tragically literal turn on December 15, 1967. The Silver Bridge, a major connection between Point Pleasant and Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed during rush hour. The bridge, packed with holiday shoppers and commuters, crumbled into the icy Ohio River, claiming the lives of 46 people. It was a devastating event that shook the community to its core. In the wake of the tragedy, whispers of the Mothman grew louder. Some claimed to have seen the creature perched on the bridge in the days leading up to the collapse. Was it a harbinger of doom, a silent witness to the disaster, or just a creepy coincidence? The questions surrounding the Mothman and the Silver Bridge collapse remain a source of debate and unease to this day. The Mothman sightings eventually subsided, leaving behind a legacy of fear and intrigue. Was it a real creature, some unknown species lurking in the shadows? Some researchers speculate it could have been a misidentified sandhill crane, known for their size and red markings. But honestly, I've seen a sandhill crane, and trust me, you'd know if it was staring at you with glowing red eyes. Others believe the Mothman was a paranormal entity, a visitor from another dimension, or maybe even a government experiment gone wrong. Hey, stranger things have happened, right? The truth, like the Mothman itself, remains elusive, but the legend continues to fascinate and frighten, reminding us that some mysteries are best left unsolved. Our next cryptid takes us to the murky depths of the Pine Barrens in South Jersey. Forget the beaches and boardwalks, we're talking about a sprawling expanse of dense forest, home to more than just mosquitoes and bad tans. This, my friends, is the stomping ground of the Jersey Devil, a creature as infamous for its appearance as it is for its alleged taste for blueberries. Okay, maybe not blueberries, but you get the idea. The legend dates back to the 18th century, with tales of a woman named Mother Leeds, who, after having 12 children, cursed her 13th child, declaring it to be the devil. Legend has it, the child was born with hooves, leathery wings, and a blood-curdling shriek. I mean, childbirth is rough, but that's next level. Next. The Jersey Devil, as it came to be known, supposedly flew up the chimney and disappeared into the barrens, where it proceeded to wreak havoc for centuries to come. Farmers blamed it for mutilated livestock, strange noises echoed through the night, and people claimed to have encountered the creature itself. I'm talking glowing red eyes, blood-curdling screams, the whole 9 yards. The Jersey Devil quickly became a part of local folklore, a cautionary tale whispered around campfires and used to scare misbehaving children. But the sightings persisted. In the early 1900s, a wave of sightings gripped the region, with hundreds claiming to have seen the creature. Schools were closed, businesses shut down, and even the Philadelphia Zoo offered a reward for its capture. So, what's the deal with the Jersey Devil? Is it a real creature, a figment of our collective imagination, or maybe a little bit of both? Some speculate it could be a misidentified species of bird like a heron or a crane with their long legs and eerie calls. But then again, birds don't usually have glowing red eyes and a penchant for scaring the bejesus out of people. Others believe it's a product of folklore, a way to explain the unknown and add a little spice to life in the Pine Barrens. Whatever the truth may be, the Jersey Devil remains a cultural icon, a symbol of the Garden State's wilder side. Alright, buckle up, because this next cryptid is like something straight out of a B horror movie, but with a taste for livestock instead of teenagers. We're talking about the Chupacabra, which literally translates to goat sucker in Spanish. The Chupacabra first started making headlines in the mid-90s down in Puerto Rico. Farmers were finding their goats, sheep, you name it, completely drained of blood. These weren't your typical predator kills. The bodies were often found with strange puncture wounds and completely drained of blood. Witnesses described seeing a weird, spiky creature with glowing red eyes lurking around the farms. Some even said it hopped around on two legs, which honestly just makes it even creepier. The Chupacabra sightings didn't stop in Puerto Rico, though. Oh no, this thing or things apparently decided to go on tour. Reports started popping up all over Latin America and eventually even made their way up to the southern United States. Farmers were freaking out, and honestly, who could blame them? Imagine finding your prize-winning pig looking like something out of a horror movie. The authorities were stumped, scientists were scratching their heads, and the Chupacabra was quickly becoming a global phenomenon. Theories about the Chupacabra ran wild. Some folks thought it was some kind of alien experiment gone wrong, while others were convinced it was a government conspiracy. I mean, hey, stranger things have happened, right? Of course, the skeptics out there, those killjoys, tried to explain it away as just coyotes or wild dogs with mange. But come on, have you ever seen a coyote drain a goat's blood with surgical precision? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, you'd think with all these supposed sightings and dead goats piling up, we'd have some solid evidence by now, right? Well, that's where things get even weirder. Despite all the hype, actual proof of the Chupacabra remains elusive. Sure, there have been blurry photos and shaky videos, but nothing concrete enough to convince the scientific community. And let's be real, you know those cryptozoologists are out there scouring every inch of the planet, hoping to bag themselves a Chupacabra. Some researchers believe that at least some of the Chupacabra sightings can be attributed to misidentified animals like coyotes or dogs suffering from a severe case of mange. I mean, I'll admit a hairless canine with scabs and sores could be mistaken for something a little more exotic. But then again, some of the details, like the puncture wounds and the complete blood drainage, just don't add up. So, is the Chupacabra a real-life monster, or just a product of our collective imagination? Well, I guess that's up to you to decide. Let's trade in the sunny farms of the South for the chilling forests of North America. We're talking about the Wendigo, a creature from Algonquin folklore. It's here for something much more terrifying. Often depicted as a towering figure with glowing eyes and razor-sharp claws, it has an insatiable hunger for human flesh. This thing makes Hannibal Lecter look like a picky eater. It embodies greed, gluttony, and the darkest aspects of winter. Basically, it's the stuff of nightmares. Now, the Wendigo wasn't just some scary story to keep kids from wandering too far into the woods. It represented a very real fear for the Algonquin people. See, winters in those parts were harsh, and food shortages were a constant threat. In times of desperation, when survival instincts kicked in, the line between right and wrong could become dangerously blurred. There are chilling tales of individuals who, driven mad by hunger, resorted to cannibalism and were said to have transformed into Wendigos themselves. Imagine being so desperate, so consumed by the need to survive that you lose yourself entirely. The Wendigo became a symbol of the darkness that lurked within humanity, the potential for evil that could be unleashed in the face of extreme circumstances. It was a stark reminder that even in the most dire situations, there were lines that should never be crossed. So yeah, the Wendigo wasn't just a monster lurking in the woods, it was a monster that could be born from within. And that's what makes it truly terrifying. Though rooted in ancient folklore, the legend of the Wendigo continues to resonate in modern times. It's appeared in literature, film, and even video games, captivating audiences with its blend of horror and cultural significance. The Wendigo's enduring presence in our collective consciousness speaks to the power of these ancient stories. They remind us of the importance of balance, the dangers of greed, and the darkness that can reside within us all. Of course, there are still those who believe the Wendigo is more than just a legend. Reports of strange encounters in remote wilderness areas persist, fueling the flames of this chilling tale. Whether real or imagined, the Wendigo serves as a chilling reminder of the power of fear, the fragility of the human psyche, and the enduring allure of the unknown. So the next time you find yourself wandering through the woods, remember the legend of the Wendigo. And whatever you do, don't give in to the hunger. Alright, so we've talked about big, scary moth dudes, goat vampires, and whatever the heck the Jersey Devil is supposed to be. But now, we're diving into the world of fairies. Yeah, fairies. You know, those little winged beings from bedtime stories? Turns out they're not all sunshine and rainbows. See, in folklore, fairies can be downright mischievous, even dangerous. We're talking about creatures that steal children, mess with your crops, and generally make your life a living nightmare. Forget Tinkerbell. These are like the grumpy, vengeful cousins you only see at family reunions. And get this, there are tons of different types of fairies. You've got your sprites, your pixies, your brownies, each with their own quirks and creepy tendencies. It's like a whole extended family of supernatural beings, all ready to cause chaos in your backyard. So, next time you see a weird light flitting about in the forest, don't get too close. It might be a fairy, and trust me, you don't want to mess with these guys. Now you might be thinking, Shane, come on fairies, really? But hold on to your tinfoil hats, folks, because there have been some pretty wild fairy sightings over the years. One of the most famous cases comes from Cottingley, England. Back in 1917, two young cousins, Elsie and Frances, claimed they had befriended a group of fairies in their garden. They even took pictures, which I gotta say are pretty convincing. Of course, skeptics dismissed it as a hoax, but the girls maintained their story for years. Were they telling the truth, or were they just really good at arts and crafts? Then there's the whole fairy rings phenomenon. Some folks believe these are caused by fairies dancing at night, and I gotta admit it's a more entertaining explanation than fungal growth patterns. The point is, whether you believe in them or not, fairies have captured our imaginations for centuries. So, are fairies real? Who knows? I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to believe, but there's something about these little creatures that just gets under your skin. Maybe it's the mystery, the magic, or the fact that they represent the unknown. Or maybe it's the fact that they can be downright terrifying. I mean, imagine a world where tiny winged beings can mess with your mind, steal your belongings, and maybe even kidnap your children. That's some straight-up horror movie material right there. But hey, maybe that's just me. Maybe I've watched one too many episodes of Unsolved, and now I see cryptids lurking around every corner. But still, next time you're walking through the woods, keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. You never know what might be watching you from the shadows. Okay, so we've covered fairies, those mischievous little whatever they are. Now let's talk about something a little more grounded. I'm talking about the devil monkey. Sightings started in the United States, mostly in the South and Midwest. Witnesses describe it as a large, aggressive primate like a baboon but bigger and meaner. It has glowing red eyes, sharp claws, and nasty teeth. Basically, it's the kind of creature you don't want to run into. One of the most famous devil monkey sightings happened in the early 2000s in Lake Worth, Texas. People reported seeing a large, hairy creature lurking around their neighborhoods, even attacking pets. There were similar reports from other states like Louisiana, Alabama, and even as far north as Michigan. The descriptions were always pretty consistent: a big, mean-looking monkey with glowing eyes and a bad attitude. Now, I'm not saying I believe in the devil monkey, but I am saying that there's something creepy about these consistent sightings, these whispers of something strange and unsettling lurking in the shadows. So, what is the devil monkey? Is it a real cryptid, a figment of our collective imagination, or just a bunch of escaped monkeys causing chaos? Some people think it could be a baboon that escaped from a private collection or a zoo. Others believe it could be a new species of primate, undiscovered by science. And then there are those who think it's something more supernatural, something demonic even, hence the name devil monkey. Whatever it is, the devil monkey has become a part of modern folklore. a cautionary tale whispered around campfires and internet forums. It's a reminder that even in our modern world, there are still mysteries lurking in the shadows, creatures that defy explanation and send shivers down our spines. Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of cryptid craziness in the books. We've journeyed from the depths of the Pine Barrens to the mysterious forests of West Virginia, and even encountered some mischievous fairies along the way. Thanks for joining us on this eerie journey through the world of cryptid creatures. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling content. Let us know in the comments which cryptid you find the most fascinating, or if you have any encounters of your own. And remember, stay curious, stay skeptical, and most importantly, stay spooky.